everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Andrea, and today, if you saw my video yesterday, you know it was the previous round's finale for Throwback 30, so that means today is the intro for the new round, and I'm very excited because I have a bunch of new products to play with all year long and a bunch that I've never touched before, so I'm very excited about that. But before we get started, this is a Fantastic Ladies group collab. It was created by Jessica Lee as a way to spotlight all the different projects, past and present, that have been created for the Fantastic Ladies, because there's a lot. And this is one that you do need to be a Fantastic Lady to participate in, simply because a lot of these projects are prompt based and there's just no way to do all of the prompts in the description box or to get you all the information you need other than being part of the group. So if you aren't part of the group, like, why? It's very fun, supportive, tons of fun projects, and I would really recommend it. But this is a year-long project. It starts today and it runs through July 28th of 2023, which is depressing to say, 2023, but it'll be here before we know it. So there's 30 prompts to run through, which means 30 products. So I'm gonna get going, and I'm marking my progress a little bit differently this year. This doesn't really matter for you, but I just, in case you're curious about how I track progress, usually I have a notebook and every month I start a new page for that month, but that's a lot of copying down information, mostly for prompt-based stuff, because, you know, prompts change and everything. So this time I have a bigger notebook and I have everything written down, and I have a way to mark my uses for things that have usage goals. So I'm just going to be using these same sheets all year long, and we're going to see how that works out for me. Anyway, so now that I've gotten that unnecessary explanation for how I keep track of my progress out of the way, let's get started on the actual products that I'm going to be working on in this project. First, for 12 Days of Christmas, I chose the prompt 8 Maids Milking, and I'm bringing in my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk. I can give you a swatch, but it's actually looking pretty disgusting. But it's just a white jumbo eye pencil. You can use it. It's an eye pencil. I don't know. I would use it as an eyeshadow base. I don't know why I thought I was going to use this up, but I just want 30 uses on it. So how I'm going to be tracking my uses for this, here's the prompt. I drew in 30 little boxes, and every time I use it, I'm going to color in a box, and then when all the boxes are colored in, this product will be done. I will try to use this more. I'm going to use this more as a base for eye looks, as opposed to like an actual white, because I don't like this as a eye primer on its own, but as a base it's okay. I don't know why I'm going into such like explanations, because otherwise this video is gonna be an hour, so I need to pick up the pace here. Next, for 4 Seasons Project Pan, I picked the season Spring, and I have this Too Faced Love Flush Watercolor Blush in Love Yourself, and I picked it for 2 reasons. One, it's a very springy color. It's a nice light, like peachy coral. But 2, there's bunnies. Can you see the bunnies all over it? And the like little flowers, and that's very spring-like to me. So I got this at TJ Maxx. I have never used it. Oops. So there is the shade. It's probably a little too light for me to use right now, but in the wintertime when I'm a little lighter, it'll be fine. I also have 30 uses on this one. Then 50 Shades of Green. I am bringing in, this is a full size of the Pharmacy Green Clean Cleansing Balm, which I'm actually almost done with the cleansing balm that I am currently working on, so this will be getting started fairly soon. My goal is obviously to finish that. For 50 Shades of Pink, I have this Kopari Coconut Rose Toner. Again, this is something that I found at TJ Maxx, and oh, I didn't know the bottle is also pink, so I can throw the box away. I think it's Valerie who really likes this, but I saw it, even though I really love my Andalou Naturals toner, I'm like, I'll just give it a try. So I want to finish this one, and funnily enough, my Andalou Naturals toner was empty this morning, so I'm going to get started on this right away, and my goal is to finish. 50 Shades of Purple. This is something that was in my 50 Shades of Purple last year. This is my Lisa Frank and Glamour Dolls Bitten and Bronzed Matte Bronzer. I used this 50 times in the project last year, and I still didn't hit pan in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see the waffle grid design that is the pan, but I'm just setting a goal of 30 uses. If I hit pan, and I haven't hit the 30 uses, I'm going to continue to the 30 just to see. I really hope I can hit pan within the 30 uses, because this is probably my oldest bronzer. But that is that. Actually, I need to separate these of things that go upstairs and things that stay down here. Then 7 Deadly Pans. This one I always I feel like I have a hard time with, but I was looking through my stuff, and I have this Danessa Myricks Twin Flames Multi-Chrome Pigment in the shade Lust. So that was perfect. So this is what I'm bringing in, obviously, for Lust. And I have a 30 use goal on this. But I have never used this yet because it's a liquid eyeshadow, and you might know how good I am at using my liquid eyeshadows, but it's so beautiful. I got this in my lucky bag this past year, and I haven't touched it, but it looks gorgeous, and I know these are expensive, so I want to get some use on it before it dries out. So that's in for 30. Okay, this one I have to dig out a little bit. Okay. So next, for Alice in Wonder Pan, I picked Jabberwocky, a product from a brand you no longer buy from, a person you no longer support, in parentheses, because they are evil, LMAO. So I no longer support ABH because, as Deb says, she's a Putin supporting turd, so I don't want to give her my money. But I absolutely love the Jackie Aina palette. It's one of my favorites. Even though it doesn't really look like it, I only have pan and trust issues right here, which is kind of hard to see. But I want to see how many pans I can hit in this year. But I'm doing it a little bit differently, because normally I would just bring this palette in and say, I want to hit as many pans as I can and leave it at that. And then I would be stuck with my indecision that I get when I have too many choices. So I'm going to pick one shade at a time to work on, and I will just go that way. So the first shade I decided to pick is my favorite shade out of the palette, Sponsored, which it has a little dip, but not huge. I don't know that it'll be super, super hard to hit pan in this, but this is my favorite shade in the palette. It's just one of those brown with the green reflex or whatever. I don't know. It's just beautiful, and I love it, and I want to hit pan in it. And after I hit pan in it, however long that takes, I will pick another shade to hit pan in, and so on and so forth through the whole year. So it's got a hit pan goal, but it doesn't have a specific, I'm going to hit pan in everything, which would be ridiculous, because then at that point it's pan that palette, and I don't want to do that. And I don't want to set a specific number. I just want to hit at least one pan. If I hit at least one pan in this palette, in this project, I will consider it a goal completed. But we're going to keep it in the whole year and just see how many I can do. Next is Beauty A to Z, where you randomize a letter and correspond a product to that letter. I got the letter W, so I'm bringing in this is another did not finish from my 50 Shades of Purple. This is the Wet n Wild Chrome Nail Color in Hog Quartz School. I am about where that black line is. I might be a tiny bit lower, so I've got about half of this left. Theoretically, it should not be a problem to finish this, but this is me we're talking about. We're going to see. But I'm bringing that in to finish, obviously. Then for Birthstone Beauty, my birthstone month is October. I love opals, so I'm doing opal again. And I'm bringing in my BH Cosmetics opal palette. I want to use each shade in this palette 10 times, which I think should be doable. There's one glitter. I don't care about glitters, as in I don't mind wearing glitter, so that is including the glitter. But even this opal shade, I could use this as a face highlight as well. So I could theoretically double dip in a few of these shades to multi-purpose them, but 10 uses on each pan in this palette. Budget Beauty, I have my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This was in my project 2 years ago. Did I? 2 years ago? I'm pretty sure at that point I wasn't doing this project on YouTube, so you haven't seen it, but my goal in that project was to hit pan, which I did, but I don't know if you can tell like how much I actually wore down in this product. Like, I didn't go straight down. I wore it pretty evenly. So my goal is going to be to finish it this year, which is going to take a while, but I think it's completely doable for me. So that is going to be my goal, is to finish this. Then for Child of the 80s, I picked Wax On, Wax Off, and of course I picked a candle because I always I've been liking putting candles in my projects because it makes me actually burn them, and it makes me actually like go through my stash. So this one's not going to be started for a while because it is more of a fall scent, but this is the Opal House Sugared Cinnamon Candle. Oh my god, I love this scent so much. It's cinnamon, it's like baking cinnamon and brown sugar. It is so good. I mean, I might not even wait till fall to start burning this because it just smells like you're baking cinnamon rolls. It's so delicious, and I'm going to finish it, obviously. Drop 10 before summer, I have my e.l.f. Putty Blush in Fiji. This is not the new luminous one. This is just their older formula, and I've only used this a couple of times, but it's so pretty. And I also want, I'm going to start swatching things on my other hand. I also want to use this one 30 times. So that is what it looks like. And it looks a little bright, a little scary, but it shears out nicely. But I would also probably not use this on its own. I would put this on underneath my foundation, or put it on before I do my foundation, and then do my foundation and then put powder on top. So that definitely helps with these like more intense blushes to tone them down. But I want to get 30 uses on that because I've had this for quite a while and I've only used it like twice. So I want to get use on it. Got blush all over my finger. Okay, food for thought. I am bringing in my Beauty Bakery Snackaroons highlighter in Sugar Coat Everything. I have never used this on my face. I've only swatched it a couple times. So I want this to use this 30 times. This might be more of a wintry highlighter for me. I believe this was the lightest shade that I saw at Target, and it's quite icy. I don't know how well it would work on my face, but I mean, if I needed to, I could use it as an inner corner highlight, but I want to get 30 uses on that as well. Then for Gotta Panama, the Pokemon project, I picked Misty, a gimme product, something you can logically finish. I have this NYX Bear With Me Hydrating Jelly Primer. It's a little like mini, what is this, 8 grams, 0.28 fluid ounces, so I'm going to finish that one. Harry Potter and the Pan of Fire, I picked Bludger, which is something black, and I am going to attempt to finish this ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in the shade Swerve, which it's pretty much brand new. This is rolled all the way down. I mean, it's black, but I'll show it to you. I am also I'm babying it a little bit because we all know how these are, so not the blackest black ever, but it's fine. I am pretty close to finishing the black eyeliner that I'm currently using to tightline with. Once that is done, this will be my only black eyeliner, or my black pencil liner that I have in rotation, and I hope I can finish it. I'm not going to roll it all the way up because we all know what happens to these things when you do that, but you can see it's brand new pretty much, and I want to use it before it gets too dry. So there's that. I don't know if I'll be able to use it up in a year because I didn't finish the one that I had in my last Throwback 30, which was like a dark green, but I tightline every day, I don't always use black, but the majority of the time I use black, so that might be able to be finished. If not, I'll have really good use on it by the end of the project. Then, for I Heart the 90s, I picked Smells Like Teen Spirit, a scented product. And against all odds, I finished the perfume that I had in this project for last round. So I thought, you know what, I did it once, I can do it again. So I'm bringing in another one of my Nest perfumes. This is in Black Tulip. It's much, I don't know, scents. Like, I can't tell you. I'll put the scent notes up on the screen. It smells good. That's what I can tell you. It smells good. So I want to finish this. And judging by how many uses it took, for my last one, if I'm just consistent with it and use it once a week, then I will, with a few extra uses thrown in here and there, I will definitely get this finished. So I just need to, you know, be consistent. Okay, let's get loose. I have one of my Tammy Tenuka shadows, and I'll insert the name in English on the screen because in my inventory I have the English names, but as it's written on here, I don't know if you can see, I mean, everything is just... I should not be allowed to own anything. At least it's already loose, so it can't be broken. I'm a danger. So anyway, as I was saying, I will put the shade name on the screen, but the English name, but this is what it is. It's one of their shades. They have different, like, sizes. This is the smallest amount that they give. So I'm going to try to finish it. We'll see. I don't have any glitter glue on, so I don't know how well it's going to stick to my hand, but you can kind of see it down here. It's like peachy and it's got some green reflex, and it's a little more flaky, which I'm finding because of the one that I was using in this project last round for part of my turn and burn. I don't quite like this loose, flakier shadows, but I mean, I have them and the shades are pretty, so I want to get use out of them. So I'm going to try to finish that one. We shall see. Okay, lip service. I picked something that logically I could finish because I'm terrible with lippies. This is the Ulta Beauty Juice Infused Lip Oil in Jojoba and Peach. It was on its side, so I'm going to let it settle. But I have used some of it, and my goal will be to finish it. Okay. It's settled enough for now, so I'm just about... I've used maybe a quarter of it already, so I'm going to try and finish that up. Mean Girls quotes. That is so fetch. Something that is so fetch. And I am going to bring in my Clarity Cosmetics Evil Mermaid Palette because it is absolutely beautiful, and I haven't touched it yet because I've been waiting for this project. But I want to use each shade 5 times. I'm just gonna swatch the shimmery shades because those are the ones everybody cares about. I mean, not that you don't need mattes, but they're not exciting. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna make sure that I put that so I don't. This is Get Off My Teal, Murky Waters, Seize the Day, it's spelled C, S-E-A, and I Don't Fin So. Oh my gosh. Pinky swatches are hard. So those are the swatches of the like shimmers in this palette. Not the best swatches, but it gives you an idea, and I mean, obviously this is my color story, so I'm very excited to use this, and like I said, 5 uses on each shadow in here. And I have all year to do that, so theoretically I should hit this goal no problem, but, well, not no problem, but you know. Nightmare on Panning Street. I picked the Omen 666. Use 6 pans in a palette 6 times. So I picked one of my older face palettes that I have not touched in forever. This is my Lorac Shine Bright face palette. It's got 4 blushes and 2 highlighters, and you're gonna use each of them 6 times each. This was one of their winter, like, holiday releases. So let's see, this is the first row. So the 2 blushes and the highlighter, which looks dark, but obviously, I mean, the swatch is not the same as putting it on your face. And they still, I've had this for quite a while, and the powders still feel quite nice. So, I mean, obviously this row, these 3 are more my jam than the top ones, but I still like the top ones. So 6 uses on each of those products, or each of those pans. Pan as old as time. This is another palette I'm bringing in that I'm going to be structuring it the same way as with the Jackie Aina palette. I want to hit multiple pans in it, but I'm only going to focus on one pan at a time. This is looking real janky because this is my oldest, I think the oldest palette in my collection at this point. This is my Lorac Mega Pro 4. This is what I used for tiny pans last year. I need to clean this really badly because this is kind of disgusting, but so you can see I've already got quite a few pans in here. I've got 13 pans in this already from that project. So I just want to continue and get as much use out of this. I mean, if we're talking like pipe dreams here, at some point I would like to completely finish this up. I don't know if that will ever happen, but I want to get as close as I can. So for this the first shadow I'm going to work on is the shade right here, Butterscotch, which I think is the closest, or one of the closest, to pan. And it's going to be a really easy shadow to use because, I mean, it's basically my skin tone. At least right now. I mean, a little cooler, but I can use that as a setting shade, no problem. So that's the first pan that I'm going to focus on for this palette and this prompt. Pan of dinosaurs. I picked Pterosaurus, something light or airy, and I have this e.l.f. soft luminance. This e.l.f. soft luminance loose powder. I've got about half left, and I want to finish it. We'll see. I theoretically should be able to finish that in a year, but I'm not going to start working on it for a little bit until I either finish the Maybelline powder that I'm working on for This Is Fantasy, or that project ends. So it could be a while, but my goal will be to finish it this year. Then for Skin is In, I'm bringing in this Revolution Charcoal Purifying Mask. I want to finish it. It should not be a problem. These Revolution masks take me on average 10 uses to finish up, so that's kind of like a gimme product, but it'll be done. That's expensive. I have this Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Boom Boom Cream. Whoops. This is not like the jumbo size, but this is the normal big size. Get rid of that box. And I want to use it because it smells so good. And it's expensive. I mean, it's almost $50 for this big tub, but the way that I use lotion, it's gonna last all year probably. So it smells so delicious, but this is what it looks like. There's a nice big air bubble on the side, but so my goal will be to finish that. For That's So 2000s, I picked prompt Frosted Tips, something frosty or icy. So I decided to bring in this Zoya nail polish in the shade Saldana because it's a very frosty ice blue with purple top. Like, you could use it alone, but for me this would be more of a topper shade. I just want to use this 5 times. I feel like for a whole year that's kind of like a cheating prompt, but you guys at this point know how hard it is for me to like get uses on my nail polishes because I get bored super easily. So 5 uses over a year. This will take me a while to actually get those 5 uses in, but that's what I'm bringing in for that prompt. The Golden Girls Project Pan Cheesecake. Cheesecake is like the best, so obviously I had to pick that one. Something in sweet packaging or that smells sweet. I have this My Body Bakery Room and Linen Spray in the scent Blackberry Smoothie. This is not a body spray. This is a room spray. It is very sweet. I want to try to finish it. That it smells so good. I don't know if I will, but I want to try. This is an Australian brand that is no longer in business, and that's sad, but I have some of their stuff and I want to get use on it, so that is what I'm doing for that one. For This Is Fantasy, I picked Cyclops, a one-eyed giant or single shadow, so I'm bringing in another one of my Enchanted Luster Cosmetics loose single eyeshadows. This is in Dream Prism. This one is another like really flaky one, but oh my gosh, there you go. I've used it a couple times. I don't think it'll be that hard to hit pan on because it is really flaky. I'm just trying to, but at the same time, it might take a while depending on how I can get it to apply. So I just want to hit pan on that one. Let's put it over here. Again, I like these shadows, but like the flaky formulas are not my favorite, but there it is right here. It's like, actually, this is basically Zoya Saldana in an eyeshadow. So then for tiny pans, I am bringing in this. It's can be an eyeshadow or a face highlight, either one. This is something I got in Ipsy a long time ago. This is from The Balm. This is the shade Kuakarabisha. And I obviously already have pan in it. I want to finish this off. I mean, it's just, oops. It's just like brow bone, inner corner. Could use it as a face highlight. So I want to finish that one. Okay, we got 2 more left. So for Turn and Burn, I'm going to do the same thing I did last year, which is make this rolling style. So I've got 3. Last year I think I was doing 5 at a time. This year I'm just going to do 3 at a time. Just make it a little easier on myself. So I've got 3 things. 2 are fairly easy and should be done by next month. The third one, I don't know. We'll see. But the first one is just this little packet of the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. I mean, this should take me, I'm sure there's more than 1 use in here, but probably not more than a couple, so I'm going to finish this. I have this Peach and Lily Body KP Bump Boss Microderm Body Scrub. This is a 1.02 ounce little tube, so I would imagine I'd get maybe 4 or 5-ish uses on it, depending on how like strong it is and stuff, but I think that will be done. The one that this is the wild card. This is my Copacetic Cosmetics Gloss and Influence, another leftover from 50 Shades of Purple last year. I've got about half of it left. It's just, I want it out. I just want it gone. So I'm going to try to finish it. We'll see. And then finally for Zodiac Project Pan, I picked Taurus, which is pastel shades of pink, pale blue, and green. So I have the Juvia's Place Eye Define Pen Liner. This is just the, I don't know if they have other colors, but this one is just their black, the black one. And it's like a minty teal packaging. And I want to finish it. Which the black liquid liner that I'm currently working on is pretty close to calling it quits. So I'm going to be starting this one really soon. And I just want to finish it up. Because I don't really want to buy from Juvia's Place. And I want to get rid of the stuff that I do have from them. So that's what I'm going to do. So that is it for my intro. I always get so excited at the beginning of projects when you see all of the new things that you can work on, and then by the end of the project you're like, I want these things to be done and out of my rotation. But in the beginning I'm very optimistic and hopeful and like excited. So that is it for my intro. Let me know if you are doing this project as well so I can come check out your video. But I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are. You're staying safe and sane and healthy, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.